How are you? It is the 1st of July in the year of our Lord 2025. 1st of July. What will this July bring? Well, there's a history of possibilities. I just read that off a billboard, but it sounded good. From what I've gathered from the breaking news alerts I keep getting, the Senate doesn't give an F about you, your grandma, any vulnerable people here in America, and they voted to pass Trump's permanent corporate tax cut, a transfer of wealth. You could ultimately, I mean, some people's opinion, you could call it robbery, that Donald Trump is robbing the most vulnerable people of SNAP, which is food assistance, robbing people of their healthcare assistance, because here in America there's no guaranteed right to health, even though collectively as humanity has unfolded, we've all worked towards cures and healing. Some could be of the opinion that Donald Trump, in orchestrating this bill under his watch, his watchful eye, he is robbing not only you, but your community. Your community involves more than just you. Revolutions start here. Come be a part of what's next. I like that billboard. What is it? Just a Massachusetts billboard? Whatever is in front of me, I like the billboard. It says a history of possibilities with a rainbow flag behind it. And it says MA 250, Massachusetts 250 years. And then it says revolutions start here. Come be a part of what's next. That's a good slogan for Massachusetts. We do have a history of possibilities. And revolutions have started here before. You might have heard the story of Paul Revere, the silversmith, who went a-riding. Nobody hears the story of Israel, what's his name? The dude who rode the rest of the way. You know, because Paul didn't ride, you know. He rode from Boston to what? Lexington and Concord? How far else did he go? If you don't know, that's a hike on a horse. Anyways, so yeah, in the year of our Lord 2025, mark it down. Let history record that this was the year Republicans were like, oh, the most vulnerable in society. Oh, the people who need wheelchairs and food assistance. You mean the people who are hungry? F them. We have corporations like Target and Apple and Jeff Bezos's Amazon to consider giving a permanent tax break to. That's what they did here today, folks. Mark it down in your diary. Dear diary, unless you're Doogie Howser. Remember Doogie Howser used to type in his journal? I mean, that should have been a telltale sign that he was going to come out later, right? That Doogie Howser had a journal at that young age. Well, I guess not necessarily. A lot of people have a journal. I want a journal again. I'm going to get a journal. But dear diary, in the year of our Lord 2025, Donald Trump and his cohorts, his Republican, what would you even call them? Henchmen at this point? They're just henchmen. From what I heard, the bill has passed. It's even hard to talk about. You know what you do? This is what I did, okay? Here, I'm going to give you some advice. You go look up Johnny Cash's last album. I forget what it's called. And you put on Wayfaring Stranger. Johnny Cash singing Wayfaring Stranger. And you just sit there in silence and you think about all the people the Republicans killed today. Because that's what's going to happen. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you didn't see, there were protesters in wheelchairs trying to protest this bill. And as Joe G, East End Joe, pointed out, they're arresting people in wheelchair protesting the Medicaid cuts. And then the Tennessee Holler, which I love them, if you don't follow them on Twitter, or is it Twitter or Blue Sky? I think they're on both. But they said, if you're zip tying grandmas protesting losing health care, maybe you're not the good guys in the story, which they've never been the good guys. In this story I linked down below, U.S. Capitol Police officers arrested 34 people Wednesday who were demonstrating against Congress' proposed cuts to Medicaid inside the Senate office building. They said, because you can't protest inside the Senate office. Tell that to the founding fathers, okay? You want to piss true Americans off. You say, no protesting inside Capitol grounds. F that. And we know that the maggots are fine with it, right? They were like pooping on Nancy Pelosi's desk and stuff. What else did they do? They were like Dutch ovening. They were upper decking the toilets. They weren't even protesting. They were just being vile creatures, you know? You want a real protest, you go in there and you leave Post-its notes everywhere in the microwave. That's what I would have done. That's a real protest. You go, you bring a thing of Post-it notes, and inside the microwave, when they open it up, you say, don't cut our healthcare. Post-it note. Anytime they go to get food, they're like, oh, God damn, it's everywhere. You leave little Post-it note reminders. And you know how I know that works? Because when we were pushing for a union at my work, I would leave little Post-it notes of amazing sayings like we are stronger together. An injury to one, an injury to all is an injury to all. And my boss absolutely lost it on me. And I was like, who can get mad over saying we're stronger together? Well, turns out corporations will. Turns out that if you really want to piss off corporations and managers, just leave Post-its and notes that say we're stronger together. And don't leave them in random places. Leave them in the public area where people put up stuffed animals and little knickknacks. The personal space that your corporation has designated for you to feel like you're at home here while they call you a family and order you a pizza. Put up a little Post-it note. A well-known union saying, an injury to one is an injury to all. And they will tear it down, and they screamed at me and said it's illegal for me to put that up, which is not. That's where knowing your rights comes into play very handily. But it's just amazing, man. These people claim to be patriots while they rob our communities blind. So yeah, I think the bill passed. It goes back to the House. And I mean, all we can do now is we need to all work together to cast a mighty spell against these absolute demons. The demons in the blue suits, you know, coming to save you. Who doesn't understand that, like, when your community is healthier, when people have access to food and healthcare, your community is better, literally healthier, literally safer. And when people are hungry, sick, tired, it gets more dangerous. Oh, good Christ. Good Christ. Oh, did you read this news? The two musicians, where is it? And by the way, I have some good news for us too. Oh, shoot. Did it not save? It didn't save the other picture. But the State Department just revoked the visas of the rap duo Bob Villain, which I just discovered them last night, even though they've been around since they have an album in 2019. I don't know how I keep discovering. Listen, out of all this bad news, like the bad news being the United States is denying people entry for having memes on their phone or for being against wars. And as weird as it is that this rap group Bob Villain was chanting death to the IF on Saturday, so they can chant that. They can just say it. An artistic venue where not political commentators, but artists, musicians can say something on stage where they're there to perform and get denied or get their visas revoked. But the people who are, you know, funding it and sending bombs and doing all that, they're fine. So it's just if you go on stage while you're performing your creativity, when you go on stage to perform, don't say anything about that, or you won't be able to come into America. And now their tour here in America was canceled. They got their visas revoked, which is crazy. But I will say there's a silver lining in this, even though it sucks. I hope it changes, but here in America now, if you have a meme on your phone like that kid from Norway, you don't get to come into the country. Is this what you guys wanted? Everybody who put this clown in charge, this makeup orange-haired freak in charge, is this what you voted for? At this point, Canada is looking hot right now. You saw their chance at Glastonbury? Hey, what's up, Jennifer? Oh man, will they replay the Glastonbury thing? From what I heard, the BBC, like the BBC iPlayer and stuff, was like censoring a bunch of Glastonbury. From my live reports. Yeah, Daquan, listen, Canada is looking absolutely amazing right now. Canada is more free. They should troll America and put on their new logo as the land of the actually free. And then asterisk, healthcare is a human right. I feel bad for my friend. Hi. I feel bad for your friend too. You know, I have compassion for your name. But the one silver lining out of America denying, oh, Officer Lucy, good to see you. Denying these artists entry into America is, and this is a very shallow and selfish silver lining, but I discovered this artist yesterday after reading this news. And after discovering it, I figured out Bob Villain is my genre. Whatever this punk rap duo is, it is my genre. They are consciously aware. They punch up the whole time. I always had a problem with Run the Jewels and Killer Mike's motto, kill your masters, right? That's Killer Mike's like MO. That's the thing he says. He's known for saying kill your masters. I think he has a clothing line. So one time on Twitter, I finally got his attention. I said, does kill your masters include capitalism? Can we end that? And his response to me was, I guess we could go back to barter and trading. And I was like, God damn, I thought you were smart or you'd have some kind of insight. Not like, well, I guess if we had capitalism, we got to go back to barter and trading. It sounded like some Charlie Kirk fucking, answer. And I was like, oh, I'm very sad that he's like, oh, no, capitalism is great for me. So F the exploited. It didn't seem very consciously aware. So Run the Jewels really disappointed me. I kind of stopped listening to their stuff. And let me say, if you haven't heard the song by Bob Villain, what do they say? Lynch your leaders. They have a song called Lynch Your Leaders. And I was like, damn, Kill Your Masters motto from Killer Mike does not go as hard as Bob Villain's Lynch Your Leaders song. And the song is amazing as well. So we'll be like North Korea soon. I'm afraid we're kind of hardy like North Korea, where if you watch any of the Donald Trump team meetings, where, everybody who's worked a job has been in one of these, where the boss calls a meeting and everyone gets to go around the table and say, what a great job you've been, new boss. You're so amazing. We've never in the history of this company been so awesome. But that's how every department meeting with Donald Trump goes. And I couldn't believe they were televising them. I'm like, this is literally North Korean state TV, where they're like, just so everyone knows, in the history, at one point, Pam Bondi was going like, we've stopped. First of all, their whole premise was there's no more border crossings. And then in the next breath, she was like, and in the border crossings, we've confiscated 1 zillion pounds of fentanyl. And then she tried to do some math on us. Like, with that, we've saved 4 billion lives. And it's like, bitch, there aren't even that many people in America. I mean, I guess it sounds great if you're just brown nosing, but let's be real here. And it was all based on the premise of the border crossings have stopped since Trump's come, but at the same time, we've confiscated all these horrible things from the border cross. It's like, none of it makes sense if you're using common sense. And that's why I say we're already in North Korea. Hey, what's up, Doreen? Yo, hope you've been keeping your chin up. Sorry I couldn't keep up. Got an event coming up Saturday. Ooh, good luck in the event. I'm excited. Film it, put it on YouTube. Once it's done, let's get on Discord. Yeah, let's do a call on Discord. No worries, Doreen. Good to hear from you. Doreen, do you know the music group Bob Villain? And if you know any other groups like Bob Villain, they are a punk rap duo from, I believe, the UK. I'm pretty sure they're from England. And they are amazing. Let me just take a minute. It sucks that America has become North Korea. We've closed our borders to anyone who dare critique the dear leader, supreme dear leader. But in the news, Bob Villain, U.S. State Department just revoked their visas. They will not be able to go on tour here in America. And I said, there is one silver lining. This is gaining them some attention like they wouldn't have gotten before, and at least it put them on my radar. Hopefully it put them on yours. Hell yeah, they scorched the idea. Yeah, they did. It'll be on my Insta. Give you the link. Oh, I'm not on Instagram, but send me the link. I'll share it or share what I can. I'm not on Instagram or Facebook. No drugs. Look over here while the country is burning up. Exactly. Look over here. Look over here. We promise we're not stealing all your health care to give it as tax cuts to corporations. Corporations are going to have a permanent tax cut. This bill that just passed in the Senate, now it goes back to the House. I'm so pissed. If you watch Theo Vaughn, which I don't, because again, he's like a great champion of misdirection, as Doreen said. Theo Vaughn innocently is, I think, a good guy. He means well. But when you're around vipers, you have to be as cunning as a viper and as harmless as a dove. And Theo Vaughn just doesn't. I can't believe these guys with huge platforms don't at least do a little bit of research. And if you don't know, Theo Vaughn had the vice president, J.D. Vance, on. And at one point when they had talked about this bill, I was so pissed because Theo Vaughn was like, what about, this bill and kicking people off healthcare? He said something. And J.D. Vance just flat out lied to him. He's like, we're trying to prevent a huge tax increase. And I wanted to be like, Theo, you have to just read a little more, bud. Like, it's cool that you got this opportunity, but don't become part of the state TV program that Joe Rogan is. And he's not where Joe Rogan is. Joe Rogan is like consciously pushing their agenda forward. Theo I don't think he understands, because if you just asked J.D. Vance, well, why would there be a tax increase? J.D. Vance would have to say, well, because it expires the tax cut we gave the last time Trump was president. And then you go, oh, so it's not truly a tax increase. It's just you gave them tax cuts in 2017 and those tax cuts expire. So the way J.D. Vance positioned it to a huge audience of Theo Vaughn's drove me nuts, because I was like, yo, people are going to hear that don't know any better, that fucking can't read, don't want to do any research, they just take their news from Theo Vaughn, and they're going to go, oh, great, it's preventing a tax increase. When the truth of this bill is Trump gave a tax cut to the wealthy and corporations in 2017. It expires right now. That's why they're trying to pass this bill. And this bill makes that tax cut permanent. So I guess you can position it. It's like lying by omission. You can position it as, we don't want taxes to go up, but it's like, taxes for who? Theo didn't ask taxes for who. Who is the majority shareholder in this wealth transfer? Who benefits greatest? Theo did none of that. And I was like, you shouldn't be allowed to have that big of a platform and fucking not at least read a little bit, not at least be a little aware of what's going on. And I know Theo's probably busy. I don't blame him, but I just say, bro, you're either part of the problem or part of the solution, and Theo was part of the problem there. And I know I think he's actively working to like be aware of shit, but like, bro, have somebody help you. Have a producer. Theo, I'm right here. I could produce for you. I don't know if I'd want to, but Jesus. They thought DJT was going to win consecutive terms. Now they have to deal with this mess. Well, listen, here's the other thing. And Darian says, I think he does research. He just doesn't want to push. He benefits from the... Yeah. Darian, yes. He's definitely benefiting from it. But I think he just doesn't do research. I'm gonna go against you on this one. I think he didn't do, because there's no way you could allow that to happen unless you were really being malicious and just allowing that lie to be propagated on your platform, which at that point you have to feel some responsibility. Well, I guess they don't. Joe Rogan doesn't feel any responsibility. He's probably responsible for the deaths of 4 billion elks. The extinction of the elk, because he loves to eat elk meat so much. I don't know. Does he? Is it elk meat? I don't know. He likes to eat one of those meats. Alma, the other thing is like, listen, my wife said this, and when my wife has a feeling, I don't distrust it. And she thought something was suspicious with this last election. And all the stuff I'm reading, seeing, it keeps coming into the peripheral about how Trump should not even won this one. I mean, I had sneaking suspicions once you started seeing the Georgia elections and Pennsylvania elections having threats to their locations and closing down and all the just suspect activity surrounding key swing states. I don't think he truly won this, but again, like Doreen was saying, when there are so many wealthy people already in power that will benefit from his whatever this rampage is doing, you know, decimating vulnerable people, decimating hungry people, decimating sick and elderly people. There are wealthy people who don't need any more money, you know. There's nothing like they can't buy. But they just want that consolidated power, and they're just greed swine, you know. That's all it is. They're greed swine. There's no other way to describe it. They're just power hungry greed swine. Joe Rogan sounds AI generated at this point. And there were people who were doing Joe Rogan AI generated ads, and I thought there are so many dumb motherfuckers out there probably believing these ads. I think one was for like a flashlight, and it was in an AI generated Joe Rogan voice. And you could tell because they'll pronounce, like, here's one way to detect if it's AI. If the ad read or whatever you're watching is supposed to say, I'm alive right now, AI can't determine live and live because they're spelt the same. So AI will say, I'm live right now. Like this one trader ad that's always on there was this one trading advertisement always on YouTube, and he would go, I'm the only live trader that goes live every single day. And I was like, God damn, fix your AI. And it was pretending to be like a real human. The other thing is the teeth. AI can't do teeth yet. Corey Hessler, are you sick of the poor people? Oh, you know what? We're sick of the rich people, Corey. You're lucky you're not one of them. So are you sick of yourself? That whole statement is just contradicting. I don't get it. I guess you're sick of yourself. I can see that. I can sympathize with that. So yeah, Bob Villain. One silver lining out of them not being able to have a tour in America because Donald Trump is learning about them, downloading their music, supporting them. What else? Oh, here's the good news, guys. Here's the good news. I read this. It's not bitching and complaining, Corey. This is where, I don't know how to say it. You're dumb. But what people do is they get active and they get vocal. And let's consider history here, where we should say people are lucky that the poor people are only organizing in vocal ways, showing up, protesting, because what history tells us is when people are pushed to the edge enough, other things happen. I don't know. I would say Darien and France know about that. 1700s, I believe it is. But you should look into what happens when the French decide to have a revolution, or when the French have a strike. If you didn't see the French striking a couple years back, my God, do they do it in style. How about you just work, do your job, and you'll be fine. You must be a comedian. You must be a comedian. You're one of these self-loathing poor people where you're like, God, rich people just worked hard enough. Donald Trump just had enough companies that failed upwards. His casino, his steak, his airline. Oh, what? His dad happened to be rich? Oh, what? Bezos' dad happened to be rich? Oh, what? Elon Musk's dad had an emerald mine? Yeah, why don't you just work hard? Why don't you just show how fucking dumb you are? Learn a trade. If I haven't heard that a million times, here's the thing. Even tradesmen are underpaid. And if you want to really look at America as a whole, our federal minimum wage has been stuck at $7.25 since 2009. You probably also believe inflation has to do with, oil prices and the cost of traveling and imports, exports. Inflation is strictly done by these companies saying, we're just going to raise prices. We're just fucking charging you more. We're not going to pay people more. That's the funniest thing. When people used to freak out and say, if you pay people more, prices will go up. How's your prices doing? People haven't been getting raises to keep up with inflation. How's your prices doing? It's so funny. Too many checks. His dad gave him a loan and had to pay it off. Yeah, his dad gave him a $2 million loan that he paid off. Oh, you're hilarious. You really, that's the funniest part. You think these wealthy people like worked hard. You're a doll. You're a doll. Oh my God. That's the funniest part. Anyways, I wanted to bring this up because, billionaires should not exist. I know this might shock some of you snowflakes. Some of you people are like, what? But they just worked hard enough to earn $1 billion. Well, obviously, you don't understand the concept of numbers and that nobody can earn $1 billion. So billionaires should not exist. Anything over $999 million, we should tax at 100%. I know that's going to offend Corey and Waffle. My God, you sensitive snowflakes. Calm down. You're not a billionaire. Oh, and just so you know that these taxes on wealthy work. Here in Massachusetts, we did a 2% tax on people making over like 3 million. And guess what? Higher education for state schools is free. If you want to go get a bachelor's degree, you can go get one for free. No kid in the state of Massachusetts has to pay for school lunch anymore. And that's just with the 2% tax on millionaires. 2%! And you know who fought it? Billionaires. And when they were like, well, they'll leave the state, I say goodbye, get the fuck out. Don't let the door hit you. See you later. Go to a different state. Have fun. Have fun. It's just like when they're like, billionaires will leave our country. Get out. Go enjoy the exploitations of a different country. They hire all their workers, all their call centers are in other countries anyways. Go live in those countries with your workers. Get the fuck out, billionaires. Leave. You're not job creators. If these people were job creators, well, then you got to ask, what kind of jobs are they creating? These people are a plague. So anyways, my political platform is you tax anybody over $999 million at 100%. So no one can become a billionaire. And guess what? Our communities will do better. People won't die of insulin rationing, which happens in America. We won't have 1 in 5 children in America be food insecure. Corey, Waffle, is that what you guys like? Don't you dare say pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. I am putting you in timeout. You are so dumb. You are cussing dumb. You dare say pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Jesus, that is the worst propaganda I've ever heard. Donovan Duck. Yep, just stop comparing yourself to others. Then you could be happy. Tell that to the people rationing insulin. Donovan Duck. Maybe you don't comprehend that. There are people that can't afford their insulin. So they're saying, if you pass this bill, if you don't make healthcare a right, if you make it unaffordable, if in America it's 900% more expensive to get it than in Canada for the same insulin, I die, so I have to ration it. So tell those people that. I want you to go to their face and tell them that. If you think that's what this is, comparing. It's like I don't know if you've lived at home and you've been babied for too long, but this is not about comparing anything. This is saying people in America die every day for easily curable things. We can't call ourselves the wealthiest nation, the nation of the free, when we have more billionaires that are going to benefit from this bill than we do grandmothers or old people or kids that need wheelchairs, things like that. Oh, Jesus, these people are just gross. Donovan Duck, you're a gross person. Dude, I can't even afford to look at a doctor. That's why, yeah, Jake, my paycheck goes to this welfare baby is piss chat. You want to talk about welfare? Why don't you talk about the Waltons? Those are the welfare queens. Why don't you talk about Elon Musk? His whole facade, his whole I'm the smartest Iron Man in the world is built on our tax dollars. Jesus, you people are fucking exhausting. You understand that, right? Like Jake was saying, like I was trying to comment, my paycheck goes to pay my health insurance every week. So much so that I can't afford to fucking pay a copay. And somehow you're like, just work harder. Don't compare yourself. You guys are fucking dumb. Corey, here's something that is going to blow your mind. Fast food shouldn't be a poverty job. Fast food jobs, whether you flip burgers or not, you should be paid whatever the wage to the rent index. I say $66 an hour, and that's going to offend you. You're going to get very mad, but at least 37. I mean, you understand that you support, you think because they work at fast food, they should not be able to afford to live. They shouldn't be able to buy a home because of their job. Well, at one point in America, you are so anti-American. Fast food jobs aren't for teenagers. I will dispel these fucking joke retorts that you have, Corey. Let me just do it like this. Corey, does McDonald's close from 7 to 3 during the day if it's a teenage job? Because teenagers do what? They go to school, don't they? So from September to June, does McDonald's close from 7 to 3? You're so fucking dumb that you don't even understand that you've eaten so much propaganda in your life. You're willing to shit on your neighbors. Well, here, let me teach you something. In America, the reason we have a minimum wage, the reason that people thought this was a great country is because you could work 40 hours a week, buy a home, you didn't have to have a college education, and here you are regurgitating these corporate lies. How does it feel to be a foot soldier for the most disgusting people on earth? Oh, it is so gross. Here we are. Here they come out of the woodwork. Joshua Calepsy. 60 to work at McDonald's. You smoking the best of crack. Cry me a word of a snowflake. This is what you call being radical and woke, okay? This is what they want. The radical wokeists that I am. I want people who work at McDonald's to be able to buy a home and go on 2, 3, 4 vacations a year. Paid time off. Imagine that. I bet that would just fucking destroy your life, thinking that people could enjoy things. Like, what are you advocating for, Joshua and Corey? People to suffer because of where they work? Because they didn't learn a trade? God damn. How is this the greatest country with fucking morons like you in it? Your whole thing is like, well, everyone should just be a plumber, and then you can kind of enjoy life. You're the people that are like celebrating AI art. You are on Facebook going, this AI pretend painting is amazing. I'm going to buy one and frame it and put it in my room. And you're going to listen to fucking AI Nirvana at some point, and people are going to be so fucking disgusted. I hope you have friends. I pray to God you have friends that could fucking, wake you up. Be like, bud, the reason why art is good is because it has a soul. Humans create it, okay? You're like, no, AI should be doing all the art in the world, and everyone should just be, what'd you say, an electrician? Everyone should just be an electrician and a trash guy. That's it. Do you know why the trades are usually better paid? Also, it's not because you learn to trade. It's because most of them are in the fucking union, you dummy. God damn. These people are so fucking dumb. But what are you going to do, What state are you in? Alabama, Mississippi, somewhere in the South where the education is so horrible? They tell you we had a hiccup in the 1860s. They're like, listen, shit was going awesome. And we had a little thing in the 1800s where, some people want to be free. Like, your school education is just, oh, Christ. We need to educate people. Corey and Joshua, you two snowflakes, what I want you to do is your homework. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. You got to come back tomorrow. I want you to watch some of FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt's speeches. When he passed the minimum wage, when he helped with Social Security, he was a social democrat. And he said some amazing things about businesses in America. And this was a president at the time. He wanted people to do well and prosper, not just corporations. But your homework tonight is to look up FDR, okay? And look up his speeches from the 1930s, 32, 39, different speeches where he said, if your business relies on exploiting people, just like businesses rely on tips, right? We have a tipped wage where you make less than the minimum wage and you make your customers pay your employees. You don't have to pay your employees, which is fucked. We shouldn't have tip waging at all. But I want you to look up FDR and what he said, that if your business can't pay somebody a living wage, not a minimum wage, but a wage, the minimum wage was actually supposed to be a living wage where you could go on vacation. He even said, I've clipped this. I have videos on this. But I want you to look it up, because he says if your business relies on paying people subpar wages, then it shouldn't exist in America. And somehow, from the 30s till now, we've lost that mindset. This bill will add $5 trillion to the deficit. Yeah, in the bill, they lifted the deficit $5 trillion. Why? So Target, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, all these companies that have so much money they don't know what to do with it, all so they can have more money. Again, tax billionaires out of existence, folks. And if they want to leave, if you're one of the people who go, after all this, I think I'll subscribe. Corey, you should. Here's the thing. Don't be a snowflake. Okay? Hit subscribe. We can disagree. I'm going to win you over. I hate to break it to you. I'm going to fucking knock on that cold heart of yours and warm it. Warm the cockles of your heart. Oh, yes, I will, Corey. Oh, yes, I will. And your cold, cold heart will be warmed. And then you will go, God damn, you're right. Kids in wheelchairs shouldn't suffer. People that work at McDonald's do deserve to have a good life. Imagine that. And then they'll call you a radical wokist. Carpet diem. 49% of MAGA voters rely on Medicare. Here's the thing, Medicaid. Here's the thing. They're going to find out the hard way. I heard a great quote. It said, the thing about being a leftist is you get laughed at and you get ridiculed because you're correct too early. So if this bill goes through in a year or two, there's going to be a lot of people angry. And I will be sitting here going, look back, July 1st, 2025, my live stream, I said it all. Shit, it's exhausting. But the thing is we can't give up. And that's why I say, Corey, Joshua, hit subscribe. Don't be a snowflake, right? Isn't that what you guys hate? Put yourself up by bootstraps. Isn't that what somebody fucking said to me ridiculously? Well, let me say this. Don't be a softie. Come on. I can handle all this bullshit that you guys spew at me. I'm a 30-year-old father of two, stay-at-home wife, electrician. You won't convince me that anyone owes me anything. Nobody's saying anyone owes anyone anything. What we're saying is stop fucking exploiting people. Again, how is my message? Then the communication is on me. Corey hears, people owe me stuff. But that's not what we're saying. What we're saying is, Corey, if the minimum wage in America has not changed federally since 2009, everything else has gotten more expensive. Why is the cost of labor not more expensive? Fuck your position. Fuck your situation. You got to take yourself out of this, Corey. Everyone is so fucking self-centered. And I'm saying, think of other people. Think of people with disabilities, old people. Like I saw a tweet when they said, we're going to put work requirements on Medicaid. And somebody tweeted, hey, if you know anyone hiring a 70-year-old Alzheimer's patient, let me know. It's like, bro, not everyone can be an electrician like you, Corey. Be fucking grateful. You know what I mean? And then consider the people that can't do that. That's what I'm trying to, like, I need you to get this. Because you sitting there saying, everyone should be an electrician. It's fucking dumb. I know people with disabilities that I love that will never be an electrician. It doesn't mean they shouldn't fucking enjoy life, have food, have access to the health, the scientific community over a millennia. You understand fucking Pfizer didn't create the cures to this shit, right? You understand that, right? Humans, since fucking Grug was making fire and the wheel, have always been trying to figure out what plants have nurtured and healed us. And somehow in America, we've gatekept it from the people who need it the most. Not the people with the most money, not the electricians who are like, I can pay my healthcare. I can pay my fucking co-pays. I'm good. And you're like, fuck everybody else. Work harder. Jesus Christ, would you say that to some old lady and some young kid? Your fucking mother should be disappointed if so. If not, then I'm sorry. But I'd make no fucking mistakes here when I say, you act like that in public, someone's going to check you. Not me, but someone. Because you fucking step to someone's kid that's ill or fucking has a disability with that attitude, and you're going to get fucking slapped. So watch how you fucking behave. God, it makes me so angry because it's like, I'm not talking about me, okay? I'm talking about the vulnerable people in America. There are many of them. 1 in 5 kids in America are food insecure. They go hungry every day. And you're like, work harder. Meanwhile, we have this asshole called Elon Musk, who's an illegal immigrant, spent $270 million to get this dickhead elected, and he relies on our tax money. He is going to get a tax break. This dude is irresponsible with his money. You comprehend that, right? He bought Twitter and trashed it, lost a bunch of money. This dude doesn't know what to do with his money, and he has so much. And you're saying he's not the problem. It's the people not working hard enough. People with disabilities, people on Medicaid, Medicare, people who rely on food assistance. Tell me you've never struggled in your life without telling me you haven't struggled in your life. Tell me that you grew up in some fucking suburb, stayed with your parents until you could afford your own place. Then once you were out of your trade school, you bought your own place and can't figure out why everyone else can't do that. Well, I've had arguments with people like you. You understand me? And when I was like, what about people who don't have parents? They were like, who doesn't have parents? And I thought, fuck, too many people are sheltered, man. Imagine presenting that you're for the people, yet you time out people that present. What's a valid argument? Jesus, pull yourself up by your bootstraps is not a valid argument. Okay? I hate to be the one to teach you that this late in life, but karma. If I was on the spectrum, what is that? Follow up your question. So what? Follow it up. There's going to be a gem after that statement. I don't understand. I love these questions. Are you on the spectrum? It's like, you don't understand what I'm saying? That there are people that are on the spectrum that are going to lose access to the things that tie them to the community. And you're saying, no, Ash. Oh, God. People are fucking dumb. No, what I'm saying is he's getting a tax break and he can't even be responsible with his money. Meanwhile, he advocates and put people into power who are willing to rob from the most vulnerable, people that deserve food. I know you think, well, if you're on food stamps, you don't deserve to be human. That's your whole thing, man. You just think, oh, you people are fucking crazy. There are rich people that won't give him money for free. Is that really like your brain capacity here? Is that what you hear me saying? What I'm saying is I'm mad our tax dollars are going to fund these rich people. You should look up Elon Musk if you worship him. If you sit at the altar of Tesla. You should really. He's explained it himself. I mean, that's what pisses me off. That when they don't pay their fair share of taxes, when our tax money goes to fund their businesses, if they're so rich, use your own fucking money. I have no problem with that. Don't use our tax dollars. But just so you know how America works, is our taxes are supposed to go back into our communities, back into our states, make sure everybody can live a decent life. I guess you guys are just advocates for some people not living decent lives. This is what I don't understand. It's like, what do you advocate for? People to suffer? Okay. You're obviously not listening. Oh, it's exhausting. Well, at least the loud ones are proving what I don't need to speak to. It's very, very sad though. This is what you guys advocate for. Tell that lady, just work harder. You should have become an electrician. You should not have got old. The thing is you guys will never quiet me. I will always fight for the people until we have universal health care, until the billionaires are taxed out of existence, until people who are the most vulnerable in this society are not exploited. All you do is bootlick the rich. That's it. You think that they got rich. They earned hundreds of millions of dollars working hard. which I don't even think you know the mathematical breakdown, but that's okay. It's adorable. It's adorable. You guys are very adorable. And like, you know, two skunks fighting. uh, um, the other thing is that if, oh, sorry. I really wanted to point out, because this is a great group. If you haven't heard of Bob Villain, the State Department, which I'm sure, you know, all the people in the comments are like, good thing they revoked their visas. This isn't the land of the free. This is the land of you do what Trump says. But Trump's State Department revoked the visa. Bob Villain, the punk rap duo, will not be able to be on tour here in America, so go support them. They have amazing music. Talk about punching up music. They are absolutely amazing. Oh, I wish I could show you guys this, man. He's trying to get rid of naturalized birthright citizenship when his ex, Ivana, was an American citizen until 88. So that means the others, the children they had were not. Can't fix stupid. Arguing with the maggot is equivalent to trying to breathe underwater. That is very true. That is very true. Thank you, Carpe. Oh, Dongo Boingo. All you do is keep writing the same comments. We hear it. Dongo, you're important, okay? Do you not have many friends? The male loneliness epidemic is real, and you see it come out in things like this. That's the amazing thing. All these guys that live alone, you know, probably having trouble getting married, falling in love with their AI assistant, shit like that. They become so hardened to, they think like, that's why these alpha males, like the Wes Watsons, the King Azulis, they dupe people. That's why Donald Trump, he runs on being like a very tough, no nonsense negotiator. But he, the other day, I was just talking about this, in his press conferences, if somebody asks him a question he doesn't like, he says, that's not a nice question. I'm like, what guy who claims to be tough or a real man says you be quiet, you're not asking nice questions? And Donald Trump does this all the time. Like, this guy is, I would say at this point, known for saying like, that's not a nice question. Aren't you from a failing magazine? It's like, God, how sensitive is he? He can't hear a question that isn't nice. I thought he was like a tough guy. Could you imagine? Imagine saying I'm really tough and then me going on here going, you guys aren't nice. You guys aren't nice. Like, I will engage with anyone besides the racists, the homophobes, the misogynists, and anyone that says pull yourself up by your bootstraps. That bullshit lie. I just, like, that one I just can't engage because it just shows how stupid you are. But this dude, this male epidemic of like guys needing to follow a father figure, it comes out in the comments often, you know, like you guys that have just killed your compassion, your empathy, your any kind of moral compass. When I talk about hungry kids or old people needing healthcare or people rationing insulin, all these things that I've encountered in the real world, somehow you've been void of it, or you saw it and thought good. Which, I don't know what is worse, that you're so out of touch with reality and what's happening in America, or that you're cheering it on. I think both scenarios are worse, but I implore you to, you know, think about, this is ultimately what happens. It has to happen to you. Like if it was your mother, if it was your kid, as soon as your kid has some kind of injury or something, then all of a sudden you're for the cause, which if so be it, if that's how it has to happen. But, you know, I think, I don't want to say wise people, but I think true empathetic people can just understand what's going on in America, that our life expectancy has been declining even though we pay more for healthcare, and hear that and go, something's wrong. Like something's broken. You know what I mean? Like not the comment I got that you're mad that Elon Musk wasted his money. I'm like, I don't give a shit. What I'm saying is like, these people have so much. Like, you're not even hearing what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is he has so much money, he's influencing elections. That says I have too much money. That's like, I clearly have too much money. I didn't work for it, because anybody who's worked hard for their money obviously would usually have some kind of restraint or control. And this dude is just throwing it in dumpsters. That's what he did with Twitter, at least. I mean, absolutely thrashed that website. Oh. But if you don't think this system is broken, then, this might not be the live stream for you. And God bless you. Go back to Charlie Kirk, and maybe he could tell you how women should be in the kitchen, or I don't know what he talks about. But go back to listening to that nonsense. Go back to your echo chamber. What I'm trying to do here is make you understand. Daniel Strand, 1/3 of children in the U.S. had to deal with hunger. Let that sink in. Yes, well, from the stat that I got, it was 1 in 5 kids here in America are food insecure. And you got people fucking in here like saying, crying about Elon but not Soros, LMAO. You dummy. You fucking dummy. Okay? Like, I don't think you have the intellect to comprehend what is going on in this conversation. And that's okay. It's not for everybody. Like I said, go back to Charlie Kirk. Go back to fucking Ben Shapiro. Go back to your Wes Watsons and learn how to do push-ups and talk to women. Go back to your AI assistant. Ask him how to talk to girls online, or whatever the fuck you do. But this is to bring some awareness to people, to make you understand that when they say we're about freedom, it's like, freedom for who? Ask that question. Most billionaires pay an effective tax rate of less than 22%. Yes, Dom T, that is. Well, actually, now it's going to be much less. Much, much less. And billionaires, and here's the other thing, which you probably, hopefully you knew. Hopefully you knew this. But if you didn't, in the 40s and 50s, the effective tax rate was between 70 and 90%. 70 and 90%. And a lot of people, like Trump and his cohort, say the 50s was the golden era. They're usually saying it because of racism. But they always neglect that the tax rate during the 1940s, 50s, into the 60s was 70 to 90%. How come that's the golden era, but they're not talking about taxes? Makes you think, right? And go look that up. If you don't believe me, just go fucking... Everybody has the internet. You don't have to go to the library, go to Encyclopedia Britannica anymore. You don't have to know somebody older and smarter. You can go look this up online. Go look it up. It used to be like this. So what I'm saying, and for all those people who tell me to shut up, I won't. Ashley Madewell, good to see you. How you doing? Freedom for me, if I'm going to be honest, but freedom for the rest is nice too. Ember Kingdom TV. See, that is the kind of shit that I find hilarious. Freedom for me, if I'm gonna be honest, but freedom for the rest is pretty nice too. That should be a t-shirt. Ember, when I'm big enough, we'll make that a t-shirt, because that is hilarious. Corporate slaves. What's up, Timothy? All right, guys, listen, I gotta go, but I am here every weekday bringing you commentary and opinions, some very offensive opinions, like fuck your boots and them straps. So I want you to hit subscribe and come back. And like they say in the South, Dongo Boingo, bless your heart. See, the South has such nice ways of saying GFY. Massachusetts, that's why I think I love Ireland and England and Europe, because they've worked cursing into their culture much better. Massachusetts, we have too, but I got to work on that. I don't want to curse. I just don't like saying bless your heart. So hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you can come back. Bro needed a vent after finding his girl with another man. Oh, sometimes, it's okay. He's trying. Bongo, you're trying. You're trying to come at me. I appreciate the tries. Keep trying. Keep swinging, buddy. You'll hit a homer soon. That's right. My McDonald's shift is over. I'm going back to make $60 an hour. And like I said, $60 an hour for fast food. I don't think if you work fast food, you should have to suffer. I think you should enjoy 4 vacations a year. You should have paid time off, paid vacation, even if you work fast food. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that nuts? Fear Fascism 2028. That's their T-shirt. That's going to be on all the American flag political banners. Timothy, good to see you, man. Good to see you. No one should shove, but you should have to work for it. Not get handouts. Yeah, no more handouts. Do you say that to the billionaires that get your tax money that you pay for? Do you say that to Elon Musk when you fund his exploding spaceships, or do you not know about that? It's okay. It's okay. It's only for poor people, right? All right. All right, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Much love. Peace.